we get started, if you could just tell me a little bit about yourself. First of all, thank you for being part of the Success Story series. And so, if you could just tell me a little bit about yourself, what do you do more from a
Yeah,
professional?
so Shri, so I'll just start with, I graduated from ISM Dhanbad in 2019. And then post that, I did my internship in my third year and it got converted to PPO. And then I began working in Amazon since then as a software developer engineer. So, I had this, motivation of doing the MBA, but I didn't know that whether to appear for CAT or whether to appear for GMAT. So I sorted that out after graduating from the college. I landed a job. Then I thought that I should work for this company for quite some time. Then I'll build some work experience, and then I'll gradually apply for different colleges. And perhaps then I realized that GMAT would be a preferable option for me. Since then I've been working, and gradually I thought of figuring out as in what time would which time would allow me to prepare for the GMAT thing. But coincidentally, this was the better time. COVID time, you don't commute, you have options of, I'll say, so I just got that time. In weekdays, I used to spend somewhere around 2 to 3 hours of, time devoting to the GMAT curriculums. And then gradually in the weekends also, I had to compromise some of the weekends. So it was more or less 5 to 6 hours of effort. And that's how it ended. That's how I appeared for GMAT, and that's how and this was the first GMAT I gave. So yeah, it happened smoothly for me.
So, Vaibhav, tell me, so how many years of experience do you have?
So Shri, I have close to 2 years and 1 month of experience. So more or less 20.
Okay. So, you picked up a time where you felt that you had more bandwidth to start focusing on GMAT. So, how did you get to know about Crackverbal, and how did you come to know about this?
So for me, so since I am from engineering background, so it's very much evident that the part which I needed to strengthen the most was verbal, and quant required some bit, like data sufficiency problem required some bit, but that could be done by myself. I just purchased some of the kites, and I was able to build over the concepts, and I set apart quant. But for verbal, I needed some sort of guidance. Then obviously my first choice was to Google some of the stuffs and get to that 3 or 4 level of get to that 3-4 coaching institutes, which would kind of help me in my verbal preparation. So so that's it. That's wherein I got the Crackverbal, and then I kind of opened the page and referred to some of the videos even. So I got that sense, like I kind of need to go. I need to choose this coaching institute and since you most of the time you spend most of the time figuring out that which is the better institute, which is the better coaching. I'll say, just go for the one you kind of. For me, it was evident that I was able to see that Crackverbal can help me, and I was able to log in. I was able to get the support, customer support as well. So I was quite satisfied, and then that's how I chose Crackverbal, I suppose.
Nice. Yeah. So how did you go about with your study plan, right? Like, you said that math was your comfortable, verbal was your main pain point. So before you started your preparation, what did you think GMAT was versus, was there a difference in the, test that you actually took? While preparation, was there any revelation of the test while you went through it?
Yeah, so while I started the preparation, so I thought GMAT would be more like, I had no idea that how the exam would turn out to be. So I just thought that in quant section, as it used to be in CAT, like you have to be good in maths to kind of solve the equations and to come down to the that particular solution. So I just thought same way, like the GMAT would also test in the same way. But there were some tricks, there were some tips which were needed to be applied, like ADBC concept and all those concepts which could be figured out when you are into that zone. So pre GMAT, I would say that in maths or quant, I was more like, that would be more of a formula centric thing, and you have the formula, you apply that formula, and then you strike the option. But post GMAT, I got to know that maths is more like a logical thing, that you need to be sound in the logics, and then That's how, and even I thought that process of elimination, I didn't know that this would actually help. But post GMAT, I would say that process of elimination was the key, I believe. So yeah, these were some of the techniques. In verbal, I was altogether new, so for me it was a fresh start. I mean, I didn't know anything like what would be tested and what would be expected of me. So
Mm.
for passage, I just thought that I'll have to kind of scan the answers, and I have to pick those answers, because that's how you are tested in school, right? You scan the answers, you pick the answers, and then you mark the options. But post GMAT, it was altogether a different thing. You had to set the context. You had to, you had to, I mean, you had to understand that passages and in your own words, and that's how you have to identify the tone of the passage as well. So all those things were quite different post GMAT,
Right.
which
Right.
was
What
yeah,
about sentence correction? A lot of people say
yeah,
that it's more than just grammar rules, right? So,
right.
what was your thought process and how did you go about that?
So yeah, so sentence correction for me was again rounded off to that seven concepts which Arun explained quite well. So that seven concept, that was seven level of scanning, I'll say. So subject verb, whether subject verb fits here or not, or pronoun fits here or not, and all those parallelism is there or not. So I'll say initially the I mean I kind of uh, followed that basic route to first learn about the concepts and how can that concept be applied. But later, at some point of time, when I started preparing for GMAT, so I used to maintain the error logs as well, like what are the questions which I am kind of constantly making mistakes at. So there was some repetitive pattern, like I used to do several mistakes in subjective mood and all those types of questions. So that probably zeroed me or narrowed down to all those levels, to all those kind of concepts which was required from my side to build upon. So that gave me an insight. So I'll say initially that seven level of basic concept, I mean, I need to have that grasp upon, but after some level of time, you'll get to that narrow level of concepts as well, which would kind of require more brushing from your side.
Right.
That's how it happened to me for
Right.
sentence. Yeah.
What about working on the official guide? How did you go about that? And a lot of people say,
Yeah.
students say that you have to do it multiple times or, do it once, do it right. How did you go about it?
So I mean, I just attempted the. I used to watch this Prepathan video by Arun, and I used to kind of solve. I mean, I just solved this official guide. I'll say once for some questions which was wrong. I marked those questions on the guide itself, and I just practiced them off the weekends. So it used to be a circular kind of approach. That this weekend I'll be covering sentence correction, next weekend I'll be covering critical reasoning, and so on in that circular fashion.
Right.
So yeah, that was the approach which I kind of followed. Yep.
Right. And in terms of mock tests, how many mock tests did you actually take before your real GMAT?
I mean, I just took that official mock test, GMAT official mock test.
Mhm.
Only one mock test I took.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Mhm.
I mean, in that mock test, I got 710, and then I just thought of preparing, and I just thought of appearing for the exam. So I just appeared for the exams after 15 or 16 days of the mock, which I took.
Right. Right. So do you think, one advantage that you had was also because you were just 2 years experience, not very far away
Yeah,
from studies. So
yeah,
you still had that capacity to sit and study. Do you think
yeah.
that was one
True.
of the major contributions to focusing on this test?
Yeah, very much. I mean, I believe that you have this 5 years of a total cap of holding this particular mark. And since I am quite young now, so I believe that, and since I started late, I believe then also I started late because I was thinking that I was in dilemma whether to start with CAT or GMAT. But since I got my priorities over, and then I just figured out that GMAT is the thing. So initial 2 years, and then appearing for the GMAT, I'll say it quite helped me because at later point of time, what I assumed was your kind of mental level also kind of decreases with the age. So I just thought that that advantage, if I'm having currently, then I should be kind of I mean I should be appearing for the exams. And since the time is also quite, I mean I have that particular time now because the commuting time and all those times are left. So yeah, I mean I'll say all supported me through that journey.
Right, right. So you mentioned that once you got the 740, what was your feeling? How did you feel once you saw that 740 on the screen? Or did it come on email? Did you take the online test or did you take the
Online test.
online?
Yeah.
So it would have come to you at least a week later, right? On email or something.
No, so it's not happened. So I've appeared for the exam on 15th of July. So it's more or less 3 or 4 days now.
Okay.
It's not, so I don't have that official, mark sheet of as of yet, but I have that unofficial thing. So I mean, I just clicked the submit button. I got the mark sheet. I was quite excited. That lasted for 10 to 20 minutes, and then I just shared that news with everyone in the family. So that's how it was distributed, and then it got settled well. And yes, I've been preparing, I've been doing some of the stuff. That's why I've got the score. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think 740 is a great score. So what was your split between quant and verbal?
So my quant was 50 and my verbal was 39.
Wow, very nice, very nice, great. So what's the plan going ahead? Are you planning this year, or are you going to work for some time and then plan your MBA?
Yeah, so I'm planning to kind of spend 1 or 2 years more and building my work experience more, and then I'll kind of apply to some of the colleges which I had preferred. So basically, some of the colleges where which I narrowed down were NUS and INSEAD. So these colleges would require more sort of work experience. So I'll first build upon those work experience, and then I'll apply after 2 or 3 years.
Perfect. Perfect. That's a great plan, Vaibhav. And I think, let me know if we can connect later to plan this also, because, walking in the right direction is great. And if you're really looking at applying to these kind of schools, top schools, I think it's very important to think through the whole process and what will make sense for you for the entire MBA journey, right? So yeah, we'll connect again, and thank you so much. Final words of advice for people who are preparing right now for GMAT, what would that be from your end?
So as in terms of preparation, I'll say that for me, it was more like a consistent and incremental learning, which helped me because I had kind of I had worked for I was doing preparation for every week for every weeks, and then that was more like spending 2 hours in the weekdays and 6 hours in the weekends. So I'll say that continuity is the key, and rest you'll get to that result whatever you aim for. So yeah, that is the one kind of word I'll summarize it to.
Right, cool. Thank you so much, Vaibhav. Really appreciate you giving me time for this call. And my team will transcribe this into a review and a debrief too. So if you could just put it on GMAT Club, we'll be really, really grateful, and it'll really help us spread the word too. So thank you so much, and all the best for your future. And let me know if you need any help to discuss around your INSEAD plan or NUS plan. We have many mentors and students who have been there, done that. And if you need any advice, please just reach out to us for help.
Sure, I'll reach out to you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, cool. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye.